those of you who say, okay, I don't own a business, I'm not a pastor, I'm not any government leader, I'm just a mere person. Well, first of all, no one is a mere person. You are mentoring and training someone whether you believe it or not. Even if you were just a parent with children, you are mentoring them. Not everyone is out to hurt and to harm us, and we have to trust that God is going to take care of us. Every leader should still be mentored and accountable to someone.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of The Legacy of Purpose. We are in our second season of the show, and we hope that you have been enjoying it so far. Once again, if you missed parts of our first season, or if you missed last week's episode, visit the website, thelegacyofpurpose.com, to catch up on everything.
Yes, if you missed our last episode, you missed a very good one. You know, this season, Charisa and I are sharing a little bit about what we learned and experienced over the years, especially key principles we have learned from our parents and our own experiences and how we've been able to apply them to our lives today. This particular message that we're speaking on, Charisa and I did back in 2015, around a time where everything had just happened, and folks were asking us, how are you guys able to do it? How are you guys traveling with the demands you guys have in your lives? How are you able to do it? And you know, it was definitely God keeping us, but a major part of it was the preparation that we had through the mentoring that we were experiencing over the years.
That's exactly right, Charo. It was the preparation. My brother and I were mentored by my parents for succession. That's exactly what we want to continue to share with you today. Last week, Charo started the segment with the importance of a vision and the ultimate role of all leaders beginning to prepare the next generation for leadership. Now let's watch part 2 as we dive deeper into the mentoring and succession aspect of leadership and passing it on.
I want to talk about the importance of mentoring in succession for leadership, because leaders should want to reproduce other leaders. The problem we are having today is leaders are so selfish. They want to be a leader, they want to be the best leader, and then they want to be the only leader. That's what separated Myles Munroe from so many leaders. He was a great leader all by himself, didn't care what you thought about him, didn't care what you said to him, didn't care what you did to him. As far as he's concerned, I'm a leader, and I'm going to make you one too. I'm going to make you become that leader that you are. My brother said before, everyone in here has that leadership capacity. We were all born to lead, but we all must become that leader. So the greatest act of leadership is mentorship. You must now train someone, and you must want to write your vision, make it plain, and now give it to the next generation. But there must be something to pass on. There must be a vision. There must be something for you to give to the next generation. If my dad did not write his vision down, if he did not make it plain and then repeat it over and over and over again for the last 30 years, my brother and I would know absolutely nothing, or we would be confused, or we would be all over the place. But his vision is the same. When he was 13, his vision was the same when he passed at 60. It never changed. Same thing as God. His reason, Jesus' reason on this earth was the same when he was born to when he passed. That there was no confusion. There was no, I'm not sure what he did. I'm not sure what he stood for. You know exactly what Myles Jr. stood for. So there must be a vision for you to pass on to your successors. And mentorship is important because every leader, it is my hope that every leader was once mentored by someone greater than themselves. Whether you want to believe it or not, you didn't become great on your own. Someone or something mentored you. And you should still be, even at your greatest peak of leadership, being mentored by someone who is even greater or smarter than you. As intelligent and as wise and as great as my dad was, he still subdued himself under about 5 mentors that he was accountable to. Because as far as he's concerned, no matter how great I am, I still don't know everything. There is still so much for me to know. So he always asked questions. He was always reading. He was always trying to make himself better. And he was always making sure that everything he did was aligned with God. So there was someone there to slap him on the back if they needed, or someone for him to go to and bounce an idea off to and say, tell me what you think. Again, leaders are selfish. So if they feel that they're going to talk to someone about bouncing an idea, their thought is, oh, but then that someone is going to steal my idea. Really? Not everyone is out to hurt and to harm us. And we have to trust that God is going to take care of us. Every leader should still be mentored and accountable to someone. So mentoring involves encouraging another person to serve in their area of gifting. And that is exactly what my dad did to my brother and I, and to the rest of the world. He did not just mentor someone, he did more than just mentor someone to take over. But he mentored someone to continue. My brother, myself, and each and every one of you. It's not just my brother and I. My dad wasn't selfish, so we're not going to be selfish. And we cannot carry this on our own. The vision was so big, but you must be careful what visions you're following. There's so many visions out there. You must pray for that spirit of discernment so you know that, okay, that vision that that person has that God gave them or didn't give them is the one I want to follow, is the one I want to say carry on. Because each and every one of us have our own vision and our own purpose in life. You being mentored by someone doesn't mean that you don't have your own. Doesn't mean that you're not your own leader. It just means that they are exactly where you would like to be in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, in the next 2 years. So you want to kind of follow them to see how they got there, what they did, where did they go. You want to meet the people that they were associated with, because you want to get there. And then when you get to where they are, then your goal from that point should be to get further than where they were. And that is what Dad always taught. And I always said, anytime he had us greet anyone, I always said, you know, about 3.5, 4 years ago, I made a decision to intentionally come under his mentorship, because I realized that he was somewhere where I wanted to be. He was so smart. How did he get there? There's something that God is telling him that he isn't telling me. So let me get close to him so I can rub shoulders, so I can see, okay, let me just kind of be quiet. Let me become a student. So that allowed me to learn. And I always would say, you know, I'm here because God told me to make this move, and I did, and I want to become like him. But no, I actually want to be better than him. Mentoring is important because you need to train and prepare for succession. While succession is important because you need to transfer whatever is taught to the next generation. Succession requires working yourself out of a job and making room for the next phase of leadership. Now, how many of you want to work and work and work until you can make all the money in the world? You're on your deathbed, and then if you can, you would even work then. No, I'm sure that's pretty much all of us. We don't ever want to consider intentionally working ourselves out of a job. Even though it may not be a literal thing, you're thinking about working yourself out of a job, so you're automatically training someone else. You're automatically teaching someone else. So there is going to be a next phase, but there has to be a next phase. There is going to be a next phase. Jesus said it in John 16:7. But I tell you the truth, it is for your good that I am going away. Unless I go away, the counselor, as we know him, the Holy Spirit, will not come to you. But if I go, I will send him to you. Even Jesus knew that he had to leave in order for us to do what he taught. He taught his disciples for years. He trained them how to do miracles, make the blind see, deaf hear, the lame walk, how to overcome demonic spirits. He taught them that. But they continued to be lazy. They continued to call on him. Their faith was this small because they knew that he was right there. So they did not encourage, they did not motivate themselves. They weren't motivated to take that step out of their comfort zone, like my brother and I, to now do what they were taught. Because they knew they could call on Jesus. Same thing with my brother and I. You know, we had no problem being in the background, making sure that Daddy was kept up, but we were in the background, at the book table, little greetings here and there. That was comfortable. That was fine. For us to be thrown out like this is definitely uncomfortable. But that is what is making us become. And that is what is growing us. So are we going to continue to be lazy leaders? Or are we going to be excited for our mentor to say, okay, now is your turn? You know, God must have known that if he hadn't recalled my dad when he did, my dad would not have stopped. With all good intents and purposes, he would not have stopped, because as far as he's concerned, for as long as he was living, he had a purpose to fulfill. So every day was purpose-filled for him. But clearly God thought that it was now our time. It was my time, it was my brother's time, it was your time. It was now our time to shine. We couldn't, because we would forever be in his shadow. And God knew that we were bigger than Myles Munroe's shadow. The disciples were bigger in their time than Jesus' shadow. So he moved out of the way. Know that you are going to die and accept that you are only temporary. That means from now, senator, mayors, government dignitaries, pastors, business owners, plan for your departure. Plan that one day you are going to be out of office. But plan to make sure that when you are out of office, someone like you or greater than you is now going to follow. Imagine all the work that you would have now done and put into place for the last few years. You have someone that follows, that throws it away. That's actually going to be a poor notion on your part. Those of you who say, okay, I don't own a business, I'm not a pastor, I'm not in any government leader, I'm just a mere person. Well, first of all, no one is a mere person. You are mentoring and training someone whether you believe it or not. Even if you are just a parent with children, you are mentoring them. If you want your child to one day be greater than what you are because you are a mere person, then you need to mentor them. You need to train them. Train up a child in the way that he should go, so when he grows old, he will not depart. Finishing well, Dr. Munroe said this, finishing well is more important than starting well. Because we can all start with a bang. Obama started with a bang. We can all start with a bang. But if we are not going to finish with that same bang, then our starting would have been in vain. Finish with a person and not with a project. So I want to talk to all of you, because we are all mentoring someone. We are all wanting to leave this earth and leave our name behind. A true mentor decides. It starts with a decision. Decide that you are going to produce others greater than yourself. Leadership is not selfish. Leadership is for the world. Leadership is for the benefit of people. So you want to make everyone that you come in contact with, you want to make them greater than you. Not less than you, not your equal. You want them to be better. As a mentor, be qualified to mentor someone. Now, qualified means that you have been tested. You have been tried. You have been through some things. My dad has been through some things. Jesus was tempted 3 times. He has been through some things. Because if you haven't been through some things, then you're still what I call green. So you and I are on the same level. You can't teach me anything. But I want someone who has been through, and then who has been through, and is able to come out on the other end still standing. Please, make sure when you look for a mentor, they are on the other end. They're not still in the midst of what they're going through. You know, you always hear my dad talk about his Baintown story, and where he was born, and how he was raised with his 11 siblings, and, you know, sleeping on the floor with roaches, and, you know, having just a small house with 11 people crammed in it. I mean, that's going through something. And still having faith. You would never know that the man you saw before you, before November 9th, was the person that slept with roaches, who had asthma, and on many occasions had to be back and forth to the hospital, almost died, but God delivered him. I mean, he's been through some things. So when you have been through, when you have been tried and you've been tested and you've come out on the other end because of your faith in God or because of God's love for you, then that's a mentor. Now you want to mentor someone because your purpose from that point is to make sure that no one else makes the same mistake that you did. So if you can save someone's life, if you can save someone's character from being crushed the way yours was, then that's a true leader, because now you're interested in the other person and not yourself. Mentors must be patient and tolerant. And I say that as an important fact because not everyone that you mentor is going to be, of course, they're not going to be on the same level as you. They may not have the same brought-up-see, the same intellectual level. So you want to be, they're going to make mistakes. So you want to be tolerant and you want to be patient of them. Don't expect them to be the person you want them to be the very next day when you start that mentoring-mentee relationship. Continue, you know, correct them when needed. Give them a little rope to almost hang themselves, but be there to pull them back, because every time that happens, growth occurs. But you as a mentor have to be patient. My dad had to be so patient with my brother and I. I'm sure he may have wanted us where we are now a long time ago, but he understood, first of all, that every person has their own purpose, their own potentials, and everyone is different. So he allowed us to be that. He allowed me to be Charisa. He allowed Charo to be Charo, for us to kind of learn where we were going to be on our own and let God deal with us ourselves. And when we came on, he was ever so excited, but it was perfect timing. Any time earlier may not have been God's time. And then you would have messed up a whole legacy. Mentors show recognition. Show recognition to those persons that you are mentoring, that you are leading. Let them know when they're doing something right. Let them know when they're actually doing something good. The problem with leaders they are too selfish. Everybody wants to get all the shine. Everybody wants to get all the applause. They don't want anyone else on the side of them to say, you know, good job. Tell them, you know, that they're doing a good job. And that way they continue doing it. And you can't always correct, but never say, at least you did something right. That you did right. Mentors develop and not manage. Develop people. You cannot control people, unfortunately. I know we would like to, but we can't. We are to dominate the earth, but we cannot dominate people. People have wills. God gave us a will for a reason, for us to make our own decisions. So you cannot control what people do, what people say, but you can manage how you teach them. You can manage the environment. You can manage the relationship. You can manage what they hear, what they see. You can actually manage yourself, which in turn mentors and develops them. So you want to develop a person. You want to develop their current abilities that you see. You want to develop their current vision. You want to develop them as a person, their character. So throwing them out to the wolves like my dad did and my brother and I all the time. He was developing us for this moment right here. Develop, not manage. Mentors, you also want to release authority and delegate activities. But again, as leaders, we are. So we don't want to give authority to anyone else. We want to have all the authority and we want to have all the power. And then you do one thing in a bedroom one night with someone other than your wife, and all your power and all of your authority is destroyed. And then you really have no power and no authority at that point. So give authority to others that you are mentoring to kind of fulfill their own purpose and kind of lead in their own area of gifting. And that is what my dad did to my brother and I. He gave us authority and power to run his business while he was alive. He gave us authority and power to make phone calls, make decisions in his name while he was alive. He put me over a particular department, put Char over a particular department, and then the world knew that. So now that he is no longer here, and people see us, there's no surprise. One, there's no question. Two, it's an automatic, this is what they were doing when he was alive. This is where they were when he was alive. So not only are you saving someone else, but you're also saving yourself and your own reputation, and also those of others. So release authority, give others chance, delegate the task. As a leadership, there's only so much that you can do to continue bettering the vision of the organization. But if you are so worried about doing so much because you want to have all the praise, then how can you enhance and develop the vision? Allow others to enhance different areas so the vision is continue to get better and better and better. Mentors, be honest with your correction, and just be honest, period. The saying goes, honesty is the best policy. That is ever so true. You want to be honest with yourself. You want to be honest with those you are teaching. You want to be honest with God. And then provide opportunities for others to learn. My brother said it again. Dad always threw us on stage and said, talk to the people. And we didn't want to, but that was that learning opportunity. You want to give others the opportunity to learn, even if it means senators, mayors, pastors, having one person with you every other day or once a week, just to kind of be in the office with you, to see how things operate, to see the decisions you have to make and why you make those decisions. That was it. That was the thing with my dad. My dad would make decisions. He would make choices. He would have options. He would have, very difficult and challenging situations. And I always wondered how he did that and why he made that decision. And so I kind of wanted to get close enough to see why and see how he made the decisions that he did to make him as successful as he is. And so it's important for us to give others the opportunities to learn and not be so selfish. And we must train, and teach. And then when that time comes, we must let go. We can't go through all of that and then still holding on. You can't have actually have trained someone, trained successors, you're teaching, and you're still holding on. Let's bring it home. A relay race. Imagine passing on the baton. You pass on the baton, you're ready. This person is, you passed it, you're ready to let go, you're ready to run, but then this person is still holding on to it. So many things are going to happen. I'm not going to be able to move. If I do move, I'm going to fall. When I do fall, they're going to fall on top of me. Then we're going to end up with chaos. We're going to end up with a travesty.
Order today's complete two-part message on CD or DVD for a love gift of $30 or more by visiting our website, monroeglobal.com, or calling the number on your screen. Our team is standing by to assist you. Wow, Rissa, that was really powerful what you just said. I like what you just said, and I'm going to read it because it was a long quote. But you said, when you choose a mentor, make sure you choose someone that has already been tested, someone that has been through some things, and not just been through some things, but who also made it out on the other side and can talk about it.
You know, Charo, that is so true. Dad always said, don't trust someone that's never been tested. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode. We could not show this message in its entirety, but I think you should see the whole thing because there are other principles we both spoke about that are essential for all leaders. So log on to our website, monroeglobal.com, and purchase it. It's called Passing It On by my brother Myles Jr. and myself. We look forward to seeing you again next week for a brand new episode on the Legacy of Purpose.
Learn, network, relax. Monroe Emerging Leaders 2017 will take place on July 20th and 21st on the beautiful island of Nassau, Bahamas. MEL 2017's theme is Redefining Success, New World, New Leadership. We've lined up some of the most inspiring speakers this year who are willing to motivate and help you develop your own story. Find out more about our MEL 2017 event on our website, or you can call our offices. Join us as we remember and celebrate the lives of two legends at the second annual Monroe Legacy Gala, our annual fundraiser event in benefit of the Myles and Ruth Munroe Foundation. The gala, set for July 22nd, 2017 at the Atlantis Resort Ballroom in Nassau, Bahamas, will be a night filled with music, laughter, and legacy. We will reflect on the Foundation's past accomplishments, but most importantly, focus on the Foundation's future goals and how you can support and partner with us. For more information, call our offices or log on to our website.
Don't let the devil use you. So I say this to people all the time in a sarcastic manner, but I realize how much truth there is to this statement. Many times we do things to ourselves and to each other without even realizing that we're providing the ammunition for the devil to do what he does best, and that's kill, steal, and destroy. The devil is always searching for those that are willing and able to be used by him. This is why we must be well-balanced in our thinking and self-disciplined in our decisions and our actions to prevent being used and abused. The scriptures say in 1 Peter 5, "Be alert and be of a sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour." It is the little things that matter most. So watch your talk and, most importantly, watch your thoughts. These are the ammunitions that can be used to destroy you and others if not properly controlled. So in a more serious manner today, I say to you, don't let the devil use you.